Welcome to Universal One Cafe. I'm so glad you stopped by. Today we're talking about spiritual awakening, leaving organized religion. I know some of you might find this topic triggering, and all I can do is share with you my experience, my journey. I was affiliated with organized religion for most of my life. And it served its purpose. It's like a marker when you're on the highway. It has these signposts to let you know that you're going in the right direction. And that's how I feel about organized religion. But when I started to awaken spiritually, it started losing its flavor for me because, again, in my experience, I started seeing the fallacy with it. The hypocrisy. For me, it was like a good old boys club. Being a woman, there was a lot of rules and regulations, a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts for me as a woman. And when I decided to leave organized religion, which I did about 15 years ago, it opened me up to a beautiful world, a beautiful experience. I've always been a spiritual being, a person who loved metaphysical, the esoteric, the spiritual things. I've always loved it. Had my first experience, a God experience, when I was about 10 years old. I was walking down the street on a beautiful sunny afternoon, and all of a sudden it was like I was present. I looked up at the sky and I put my hands up and I was like, I'm alive. And at that moment, that was my connection with God, the universe, or whatever lovely term that you refer to source as. And that was my quest. I started reading. I asked my grandmother for a Bible. And I just, in my words, I said, Grandma, I just want to be good. I want to be with God. And that started my journey. But again, when I decided to leave organized religion, I started reading all kind of wonderful spiritual books and studied various different religions. And I find that there is good in all religion. Organized religion, from my experience, it's like a huge collective ego. Us against them. We're better than you. If you're not doing things our way, you're not gonna make it. You're done. You have to be on our side of the ledger. If you're with another religion, you ain't got the truth. So it's a big divide, and it cuts you off, and it made me feel unworthy. I remember in the religion that I was affiliated with, they would say this prayer. At the end, they would always close it out praying to God, asking for his undeserved kindness. That used to bother me. I'm like, undeserved? What makes me so undeserving? So it made me feel like I was never good enough. No matter what I did, it was never enough. Never enough. Instead of developing a relationship with God, I was too busy trying to juggle all of the rules and the regulations that I couldn't keep up with, or I was always lacking. So I decided, you know what? When I started waking up spiritually, I knew that wherever I go, God is with me. Every breath I take, he's with me because I am a part of him. I'm a beautiful, beautiful piece of God, brilliantly disguised as Virginia J. Watson. And so are you. You're brilliantly disguised as the source of all things. And I've traveled. I've been to China. I've walked with monks. I've read various different holy writings. And one thing that leaving organized religion has done for me. I have a better relationship with the Creator. I feel better about myself. I don't feel like I'm low self-esteem and feeling depressed. I never felt good enough. I never felt worthy. That I was born in sin, I'm wretched, and all of these other things that organized religion told me on a regular basis. It broke my spirit. But since I've left organized religion, I'm good. And the light keeps getting brighter and brighter. And I'm encouraging you, whatever your journey is, stay on your path. Everyone's journey is going to be different. Some will have similarities, but each one is on their own spiritual journey. If you find that being with organized religion works best with you, then please continue on that path. I'm speaking about my journey. Like at a buffet, just take the bits and pieces that taste good to you. You don't have to eat the full course meal. Just take what resonates with you. Stay on your path, stay on your journey, and go within. That's what I learned. I stopped reading all of the religious pamphlets and journals and started to go within. And that's when I found out who God is for me. And that's how I left organized religion. The other thing that I wanted to mention is leaving organized religion is not an easy task. You have to have courage because your life is pretty much revolved around it. All of your friends and family members are there, are associated with that organization. And leaving is not easy. You will be ostracized, at least I was, okay? They was like, don't talk to her anymore. And it got even so where my own father, he constantly struggles with it. Not too long ago, he called me less than a week ago. And whenever he calls me, he always is asking me to come back to the organization, come back. Because he feels that me not being associated with that organization, I don't have a relationship with God. But I tell him I'm fine, and I'm on my path, and I'm on my journey, and this is the life that I'm going to lead. And I asked him, I'm like, is there any way possible that you could just have a normal conversation with me without talking about come on back to the organization? And he's basically said no. And he said that he's not going to call me anymore. And that hurt me. This is my father. And I said, Dad, I love you. You take care and I'll talk to you later. It hurt my heart. But that's the thing that you'll go through with organized religion. They fill you with shame and guilt to lasso you back in. But you have to be strong and stay on your path. And whatever the universe allow, I'm willing to deal with it. And I'm encouraging you, stay true to yourself. Stay on your journey. Trust yourself. Trust your spirit guides and trust your journey. Stay committed to personal development and self-growth. Continue to grow and expand. Continue to go within and to thine own self be true. You are the master of your ship, of your journey. No one else. You can trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust your connection with the universe. You're not separate from it. And you don't need anyone, in whether it's an organization, a family member, or a friend, to dictate to you how you should experience God. That's your decision. No one should all over you. Don't allow them to do that. Thanks so much for stopping by. You are appreciated. And until we chat again, keep shining.